Let's go Friday night footy. He's celebrating Collingwood's Friday night game they got against Melbourne. If Essendon went on prime time this week, they have a 4-day. Oh yeah, this explaining basically why Essendon have got another prime time game, but it doesn't excuse the fact that they're getting prime time games almost every week. The last 4 rounds, 3 of them they got Friday nights. My mind is constantly. I mean, that includes this round coming up, round 22. This includes round 22. I don't understand. They keep getting these night games on Thursdays and Fridays. Like at the start of the season, yeah, they announced the first, 16 rounds? That's a bit different. They announced that in December. You don't know really how good a team's going to be in December, right? You can have an idea, but there's always a team that surprises you, does worse than they should, better than they should. That's different. But after they announced the first 16 rounds, then they announced eventually 16 to 23. They had enough time to realise how bad Essendon were. Like at that point, it was established that Essendon were not a good team this season. And yet they kept giving them primetime games. And it's just like, who are they paying? Like, do they think it's about crowds? Because I've seen Essendon games at Marvel Stadium and I don't see many people there. It's not even close to a sellout. And I'm just like, what's going through their heads? AFL fixture makers who just made a list. Stupid idiots. Not just Essendon either, it's Carlton as well, but like Essendon just, it seems to stand out more for them when they keep getting these Friday nights. But obviously Carlton, another issue, they keep getting all these games as well. It's bloody ridiculous. Alright, let's look at Ethan's tips then. Dear God. Giants. 5th time. Hawthorn. That's another 2 times for that because he's tipped Hawthorn against Adelaide again. I'm just tempted to make a... He thought Hawthorn would beat the Adelaide title. Melbourne. Okay. Gold Coast. Okay. He's more sensible here. Sydney. Okay. Collingwood. That's another one. Not very confident. Ben will have a better idea of what he thinks Collingwood will do. Could easily be a draw. Maybe game of the week. Yeah, but Ben always predicts Collingwood to win. So that's a bit different. So he wouldn't have predicted Brisbane to win anyway. Saints by 46. Geelong 104. Fremantle 114. Hey, we're having sleeping festival Sunday afternoon. A sleeping festival? You what? Oh, I'm guessing he's referring to the quality of the games. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, he's on the list so far 8 times in total. Oh boy, here we go. Round 21 tips. Seems like every night game is interesting, but every other game seems like a smashing. Western Bulldogs yes, 50-50 game in my opinion. I could write a 10-page response on why the Dogs will win, but I can also write a 10-page response to why the Giants will win. Could you? There's a rivalry dominated by the Dogs. We know they are very poor against the top 8 teams, but their one top 8 victory was against the Giants back in round 7. The Giants were the better team. I definitely think they could win, but I will give a slight edge to the Dogs. Because you tipped the Dogs, they'll let you off, but there are some, considering the scoreline, there are some funny things in there. Adelaide vs Hawthorn, they're on a roll. They might be the flag favourite at this point, annihilating Port last week by 16 goals. Hawks, as we know, have a tough run home. They need to win at least one of these top 3 games they have to make finals. Not an impossibility, but the Crows are charging and dominating that I can't in goodwill tip against them, against anyone, really. Crows by 26, sensible tip, fair enough. Melbourne vs West Coast, I think Melbourne by 40. Straight to the point, fair enough. Gold Coast vs Richmond. Gold Coast obliterated Brisbane last week, but let's not discredit Richmond. They weren't that bad against Collingwood, and they won their last 2 before that, and they did somehow beat them at Marvel, but like, no way it happens again, right? It does not. Suns by 54, indeed. Got their revenge, Gold Coast, after Richmond beat them at Marvel Stadium. Sydney vs Essendon. Swans, I think, are out of the finals race after their both gallant and embarrassing loss last week. They are playing Essendon, who haven't won a game in like 70 days. Essendon are in a prime-time game, which thank God for. Anyway, Sydney aren't losing. Sydney by 47. Yeah, decent tip. Collingwood vs Brisbane, very intriguing game. The replay in 2023 Grand Final. Brisbane have lost to Collingwood 5 times in a row, including the hammering against the Pies at the Gabba earlier in the year. Collingwood are beatable, however, Brisbane were demolished last week. I could make a case for either to win, but I feel like the Lions could do a number on the Pies and maybe win. Lions by 13. Considering what you were saying, I thought you were going to tip Collingwood, but you went for something bold, and it paid off. It really did pay off. St Kilda versus North Melbourne. Saints won the game of the year against Melbourne. Now they face North. Not much of a game. Saints should capitalise. Saints by 39. Got everything right so far. Geelong versus Port Adelaide. Cats are still cruising on their very easy fixture list. Top 4 is all but guaranteed. Up against Port, who got embarrassed in the showdown. Jezza should kick a bag and reach closer to 100 goal mark. Cats by 73. Not too far off. Fremantle versus Carlton. This may seem like an easy tip, but Carlton have a good record against Freo with 7 of the last 8. Freo didn't beat West Coast as badly as I thought they would. Carlton winning this game is not a 0% chance, but I'm still going with Freo. Freo by 17. You know what? Fair enough. You also get a free pass, but if I check next week and I forget, if I forget, then I apologise. You have to remind me, but you should get a free pass, just like grass. That rhymes, that's why I said pause like pause. Anyway, F round 21 tips. Oh boy, it's Ben's turn.
You just made the list! 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 You just made the list!